Sorry, there you go.
Okay. Okay.
You're not doing your
Now,
job.
before we get into the qigong, because the qigong bit is actually quite easy, so we can go over it quite quickly. So before we do that, we probably talk a little bit about the warm-up exercises. Okay. Now, in traditional martial arts, we don't do warm-ups. Yeah. Like the whole form is a warm-up, right? Which is not entirely healthy actually in a way, especially internal kung fu. If you don't do warm up, it's not as bad. But if you do external kung fu and you don't do warm up, like that's when like you do a triple spin somersault in mid-air and then you pull a muscle and you fell flat on your face. So warm ups is important. Now, generally in terms of warm ups, it doesn't really matter what you do. Everyone seems to have their own set of warm-up exercises, but there are a few guidelines so you can actually assess what makes it a good warm-up and what makes it a bad warm-up. Okay. Now, first of all, in the Chinese way of thinking, we do not waste anything. Okay. In terms of food, anything that you can eat, we eat. Anything that you can't eat, we turn into Chinese medicine. So nothing is ever wasted. So which means that when you do your warm-up exercises, also keep in mind that apart from warming up the body, you want those exercises to be functional, useful. Some of those warm-up exercises, if you turn it around a little bit, it can even be actually fighting applications. Yeah, so nothing is wasted, okay? Then for a Chinese guy, after warming up, he can get back into the rice paddy and start planting rice and no wasting time. Okay, now also in terms of guidelines, the best warm-up exercises are the ones that you can actually like twist and turn. Yeah. You have Aikido guys doing this to themselves, right? Which is basically turning the muscles, turning the tendons. You have Aikido guys doing this exercise. For example, again, it's actually loosening up the joints and twisting, turning the muscles. Some of the major things that you want to turn, in particular, would be, for example, the back leg. You want to do exercises that involves a lot of like opening and closing of the back, in the shoulder and rolling of the shoulder blade. Right? You want to do exercises that involves that. You want to do exercises that turns the arms, right? I do a lot of this sort of like exercises, right? And another one that you want to do a lot is warm-up exercises that involves opening and closing of the hip here. Okay. The Qi Yue, I can't place enough importance on it, right? So you want exercises that involves like closing the Qi Chung, opening the Qi Chung, closing the Qi Chung, opening the Qi Chung. Okay, so this will be the guideline. Yeah.
What are you calling this?
This one, the Qi Chung Yue.
Qi Chung?
Qi Chung Yue. Don't ask me what it is in English. Yeah. But basically, if you draw a line from the hip to the bottom of the pelvic region and come back up again, right? This triangle, roughly around the midline there. Yeah. Okay, that's the Qi Chung Yue. Okay.
We always hear it called Hua, Hua.
Yeah, this whole region is the Hua, right? But that Yue, that acupuncture point is exactly what the bit that we need to close and open, close and open. Because like what Qi Chung means, acupuncture names, if you have a look in acupuncture books, right? Most of the acupuncture names has got a reason behind it. So when you study acupuncture just using the kidney tube, whatever, like stomach 44, whatever, the meaning is lost. But then you actually study acupuncture points from the proper Chinese name and the meaning behind it. A lot of times it gives you little clues as to what it is for and what you're using and what you need to do with it. Okay. Some of the ones that we use a lot. Yesterday we talked about the Qi, the sea or the lake of Qi, the shoulder well, the band pond, the Chutzi, we talked about that yesterday. There are other ones important, like for example the jade pillow, the Yujin. Another one that's very important is actually the kidney one, which is everyone knows it's called bubbling well. But if you think about it, it's actually supposedly when you actually get the qi from the ground, it feels like it's bubbling there. Yeah, that's why it's called bubbling well. So everything has got meanings. Another one is like Chengshan here, which means that it's lifting the mountain, etc., etc. Okay, so they all have meanings. Okay, now the first exercise that I think, first valuable exercise that we can do in a moment is simply walking. Simply walking. Okay, this one I do when I walk to the bus stop or whatever. I actually do that. People think that I'm walking a bit weird, but I don't care. Yeah, I'm weird otherwise anyway. Now, I'll show you what I mean by walking, okay? Now, this one you can do when you walk here, when you walk outside, you can actually do it as well. If you think about it, we didn't always have roads, we didn't always have flat grounds, right? 9 or 10 times, our ancestors actually had to walk over rough terrain. So the thing is like, unfortunately, because everything is flat these days, we tend to walk like this. Right? With the pants half down here. We tend to walk like this. But the proper way of walking, if you think about it, in the ancestors, they have to be very careful that I walk here, I'm not going to fall over there, and I walk here, I'm not going to fall over there, right? Until it becomes habitual that like every step, there is actually some sort of a connection, right, to the ground, okay? So the first exercise I want you guys to try, which is actually kind of fun too when you start taking it, walking normally like this, is that, okay, in your mind, when you, next time you walk to the bus stop, when you step down, right, imagine you're actually stepping at least 2 inches into the ground, right? Doesn't look very far, 2 inches into the ground, right? And once you have stepped in, then you break the root of the back foot, right? Pung, right? Then you step in there, another 2 inches into the ground, right? Now you've got 2 roots, break that root now, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, until it actually like becomes natural. Then when you walk, I'm no longer doing this walk, I'm actually doing this. Yeah. Now, why it is important? One, it's actually a warm-up exercise both for your mind, right, and your body. And the second thing is that, like, in case if I'm walking, if I can borrow a move, yeah, yeah. In case if someone, let's say if I'm walking and you bump into me here, that's what happens, right? Because as it bumps into me, he breaks my root, pop. And then as soon as I step down, I will establish the roots. Okay. Bump into me a little bit harder. Yeah, bump into me a little bit harder. That's what happens, right? Instead of like me going like, oh crap, and fall over. And then that happens, right? Which is basically rooting, okay? Let's get up, find your own space. Now, first up, what I want you to do is that just walk. Like that, step at a time, 2 inches in the ground, lift your back foot up. We'll walk together, I'll start from here, okay? Okay, right.
Do we want to make one?
No, I don't want circle, because in a minute, I want everybody to bump into each other. Okay, so first up, 2 inches in the ground, and then break the back root. 2 inches in the ground, break the back root. 2 inches in the ground, break the back root, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. Now, you'll notice that you're starting to approach each other, right? So what I want you to do is, as you walk, feel free to get out of the way. Right? And then do that. Okay? Very easy to do. Okay? Now, once you get the hang of it, feel free to move around whichever direction you want, following the same principle, right? And then, as you are becoming more comfortable with it, walk faster, right? And feel free to bump into each other lightly, just so that I get that idea.
So like a lightweight.
And learn how to move around each other. Okay. Now I think you guys can speed up a little bit. Sorry. Russell. Good morning, Russell. Yeah. So now you feel free to spin around as well too, because like I have to deliver properly. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now as you become,
You're enjoying this.
yeah.
I'm getting dizzy.
Now you would find that like those who are more adventurous, feel free to stand around.
I'm missing out.
You're taking it too easy, man. I have to find you in the middle. Okay, I think we get the idea. All right. Now, it's actually like it's actually not bad, right?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. But the thing is like, now do keep in mind that like these exercises, basically you're actually like preparing yourself for martial art applications, for fighting, for all sorts of things. Especially once you start seeing yourself walking around very quick, having to dodge and so on, it becomes like very useful. Whether in push hands, in fighting, judo, whatever, it all becomes very, very useful. Yeah. And actually, like when you start walking around very fast, it does take a bit of a puff out of you. Okay. 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 Third one, you want to stretch your leg a little. Second one, you want to stretch your leg a little bit. This is also from a Chang Manqing related line. Again, I cannot verify it, but it's something that I find useful. Okay, so from here, right, bring the hand in. Okay. Now, you have to remember we're planting roots while we're walking. Plant the root down one leg, right, and lift up the other leg. Okay. Now, in the beginning, you just need to stretch like that. Yeah, just like that is fine. Okay. Right, but then after a while, move your hand a bit, stretch, 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 stretch. Okay. Now, anytime if you find yourself losing balance, which will happen anyway, so no big deal. Anytime you find yourself losing balance, plant the root a little deeper, right? And basically, this is called a bird stretch, which I find a bit weird because birds usually stretch this way back. But it's called a bird stretch anyway. And also, like, the other thing you keep in mind is that if you keep the roots all the way from here up, well, at least up to about here anyway, right? You would find that like suddenly you become very stable, right? If you just want to stand there and you start doing this, then it's balance, right? So, but in your mind, once it's planted, then it's actually quite easy, okay? So we do one side, right? Now, everyone has got a stronger leg and a weaker leg, okay? And then we do the other side. So that, 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 that. Now, all the time, you are actually pumping the channels. So think of this exercise not so much as just the stretching, but you're actually pumping the channel, pumping the channel, pumping the channel, pumping the channel. Okay, that's fine. Easy enough, yes.
And the leg and the arms, where are the, what channels?
Don't worry about it. Yeah, because like, you've got a lot of channels here. There's not any specific channel,
Legs.
but it's just like, yeah, get the channel, get the engine going. Whether you think of it as an acupuncture channel, whether you think of that as your veins.
Just lets
yeah.
fresh air in, that's all.
Yeah, it's up to you as well. Okay, now the third exercise is one that I developed myself, right? Which again, lazy people's martial arts. I don't have time to practice all the time. Whatever, I just do things that's easy. Okay, so from here, third exercise. From here it comes up. Okay, right. Almost like, in Tai Chi we've got that. This up.
Cross
Okay.
legs.
Yeah. Now, it's up to you whether you use the the roots of fingers as a focus point, or whether you want to use the Nei Guan as a focus point. It's up to you. To be honest, it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah. So from here, stretch out. Okay, from here, come back and stretch out. Now what you're doing is that like you're exercising the shoulder blades as well as stretching the tendons. Now, also this separating palm is a very, very good fighting move as well too. It saves your neck a lot of times. Okay, let's say for example, if I can borrow Wu for 1 second. Yeah. Now, Wu is hassling me. Because like,
Not Wolf.
Monica, maybe.
Not Wolf.
because Wolf is finding me very attractive, so he says
Now you're gonna get
now, why this sort of stretching palm strike is that like 9 out of 10 times, if you want to like, get rid of someone, don't worry about like doing all sorts of fancy stuff. You just go like this way. No, I'm not interested. Okay. Now, you would find that like why it worked is not so much because of I'm pushing very hard here. It's because one, my hand's flipping, right? The chi ball thing again, and two, I'm stretching out. So therefore, like what Wu feels is not a hard push like this, right? But it's actually from.
I think that's a no, Wolf.
Yeah, that's I think it will. Yeah. No means no. Yeah. So you would find that like once it becomes habit, right? You catch people by surprise, it will actually save your neck. Okay. So hence this is that exercise, and this part as well is to build it up, right? A little bit like the reverse triangle that we played with yesterday, and that. Okay. Now, and the other thing is why I always come back to the cross here before I do anything. It's because like when you play tennis, you want to get back to the middle of the court, right? The middle of the net. This is it. Because then when you fight, a lot of times if I can borrow road rage. So because a lot of times it's like I do want this sort of covering. Yeah. Because like this sort of covering I feel safe. Because like your head comes, this sort of covering, okay? Another one comes, this sort of covering. Yeah. And even when I have to throw road rage, right, it is this sort of covering as well too. Because boom, I can pull it out. So thank you. So this is actually like that's why I always come back here. Okay, so from here, open up, Just relax. Make sure that all the tendons get stretched.
Does it matter which hand is in front? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. We're supposed to actually hold it in 7-star formation as well. 7 star. No, just kidding. Okay. And then from here, the next one down is to come down. This helps you maintain awareness of your dantian. Okay. So from here, I'll do it once more, covering. And just do that. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm holding an actual chi ball right here. Okay, and then I play with that chi ball once more. Play with that chi ball once more, and play with that chi ball once more. That's all there is to it. And when you're done, okay, just relax. Yeah. Okay. If you want to rub your knees, you can. If you don't want to, it doesn't matter either. Yeah. Okay. So you would find that like this exercise actually address the fundamental stretching on the back, stretching on the shoulder blades, as well as the that whole shoulder thing, and playing with the ball there. Okay, good. Okay, so that would be the one set of the warm-up that I would like to do. Now, there's another set of warm-up that I want to go over with you right now, which a little bit more physical, right? But again, good stretch, and also you can quite easily see how it translates to actually fighting exercise. The second set of exercise, I picked it up from my involvement with the Yin Yang Bagua Zhang, the one that I actually described. I have to give credit to whoever taught me this kind of thing, so therefore like credits always have to be given to where the credit is due. Yeah. So this one is actually a Yin Yang Bagua Zhang exercise. I have a little bit of a modification only, but by and large it's actually like all that. Okay, so again, Yin Yang Bagua Zhang, stretching. Okay, so legs, shoulder width apart again. Okay. One more thing before I finish with this, before I start. Okay. One of the most influential figure in Chinese martial art would be Bodhidharma, right? Founder of Shaolin Temple. Him being Indian, right? I am sure when he actually brought the martial arts and the exercises in the Shaolin Temple, he would have a lot of influence from yoga, Kalaripayat, and things like that. So the thing is, you would actually see a lot of Chinese martial art moves, especially the Wai Jiao ones, the Shaolin ones, who actually has a. You look at it and say, that's a Shaolin, that's a yoga posture. Yeah, you tend to see that a lot. So. I think that's where the connection is. Okay, now, again, from here, hand crossed together, right? Stretch. Okay, now this hand turns down, right? This hand is horizontal, right? What you want to do is you want to feel the stretch diagonally, right? All the way from here to about here, diagonal. So therefore, like, don't turn the body is flat on. Yeah. So when you wake up in the morning, you know when you want to go, that's what we do.
Meow.
Right. 3. Feels good, man. And 4. That's the first stretch. Okay. Cool. Second stretch. Okay. Again from this position. Now your hips still facing forward. You're working on the spine. Okay, so you stretch through. I'm actually, in my mind, my hand actually goes all the way to the wall. My elbow goes all the way to that back wall. So I'm stretching myself out. Stretching myself out. 3. And 4th stretch. Okay, that feels very good. Okay, now the next stretch, you may widen your steps slightly a little bit more. Again, from here, turn this way. Okay, now I'll show you I'll do a couple, and then like, I would actually like turn around and show you. Now again, my hips basically still facing forward because I do want to work on my spine. So if I turn with my hips, now everything is lost. So, but don't be completely rigid. If it turns a little bit, that's fine. If the hips not facing completely forward, that's fine. But don't deliberately turn the hips to the side. Okay, now what you're doing here, you're actually like starting to build up spirals. Okay, I'm going to turn it around this way so you can see. Right, spirals. That's right. Hand a little spiral. Hand a little spiral. Just light. Don't strain yourself. Hand a little spiral. And hand a little spiral. Yeah. Okay, now again, just relax a little bit. Again, there is actually like a fighting application behind it. Okay, if I can borrow roof again. Yeah. For example, like if I have to like, let's go this way. Okay. If I have to throw wolf down, stand very strong. Okay, stand strong. Yeah, strong. Okay. That's embarrassing. Yeah, it's not going to work. But what I want to do is I want to form spirals, right? So as soon as I form spirals, right, I'm no longer fighting wolf here. I'm fighting wolf here. So that becomes like this. Yeah. Yeah. So therefore, like this sort of spiraling, right, is quite fundamental in terms of martial arts as well too. That's from that throw. And imagine like if you are fighting someone, you can actually do this kind of throw as well too. Right. This is again another spiral. Yeah. And entangle. Yeah. Okay. So this is actually the spiral that you want to cultivate. In your mind, you do it enough time, then when you walk around, you actually see the spiral going around yourself. Okay, so that's spiral. Okay. With this set of exercise, the next one would be would be this one. Okay, this just watch me first. This one is a bit complicated. From here, it goes under the just goes under the ribs. Okay. Cross. 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 Just easy. Okay. Okay, shall we try? Okay. Okay. You have just seen those Chinese performers where they actually got this like plates, where they got it a plate and they do this actually funny turn thing and go, oh, it comes right now. Yeah. So that's what you're doing. Well, that's what you're doing. By doing that, you're forcing yourself to get into spirals. Right. Now, but of course, if you put your palm this way, you won't generate power. Okay. Funny enough, if you put your palm this way, it generates power. Okay. Now, which means that, like, again, if I can borrow move, okay, show you what while it is a warm-up exercise, let's say pump, 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 right? Now, if I want to pin move, right, if I do this, it doesn't really work, okay? If I do this, right, then it works quite well, okay? So it's actually that sort of thing.
See, like needle under sea bottom.
Near the sea bottom is actually the power goes that way. I'll explain it when we get a chance here. But anyway, yeah. Let's try this together. We'll do it very slowly. Hand, like that, right? Go under your right ribs, okay? And just stretch it out, right? Just stretch it out. And then come around. Now your hand is in front of you, right? Do a little circle. And now you swapped over. So the hand that was actually doing piercing now is underneath here. And it's the other hand that goes to the back. And then it comes back out here. And do a little circle. Do a little circle. Okay, now this is actually has to be done relatively softly. Otherwise, you're gonna hurt yourself and move a little bit twisting. Yeah.
Watch the fan, Joe.
Okay. So basically, it's just that. And it feels good.
Yes.
You're not really thinking to overdo this. It's pretty good. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll turn around so you can see from behind me. That's okay, that's good. And then once you get the hang of it, you speed up. Whoa! Like roller coaster. Yeah. Okay, I'll slow down again. I'll slow down again.
One side.
Yeah. Now also those of you who actually have martial art experience, you will also see how this twirling of the hand can be used as a martial art application as well too. Yeah. So like, for example, if I can borrow once more, just twirling of the hand. Yeah, that's what we do. So this twirling is, ow, don't have me. So this is what you would do to intercept someone. Okay. So what we'll most probably do is we'll probably go over these exercises again so that you can map the pattern into your brains. But towards the end, we'll go over this again. All right. One more exercise. Okay. One more exercise. All right. Legs a little bit wider apart now. Okay. We will be turning. So from here, again, we do the circle. So one hand come this way. Yeah. Oh, by the way, why do we move like this? It's because if I can borrow move again, if I am to intercept someone, right? I don't want to intercept it like this, right? I don't want to intercept it like this, right? If he's got a knife, I don't want to get cut here. If I get cut here, it's bad, but not as bad as getting cut here. Okay, getting cut here, a lot of fighting structure. So hence, that's why it's always like that. When I intercept, it's always like that, right? And then like we can. Okay, yeah. So that's why like we intercept this way. Turn. Now I'm actually coiled up. Okay, elbow not too close. Roughly around here is fine. Now I've actually load my weight onto like the bear swing onto one leg, and then like you turn it across and swipe. Okay, so now the weight is actually on the other leg. Okay, and then like you bring it back, turn, turn. Now we're just learning the hand movement right now, hand movements, but if you look carefully, my hands are merely the extension of my hips. So it's actually my hips and my hua turning, generating the swing, as opposed to my arms doing the work. Okay, now I'm going to turn around so that you can actually watch me from the back, which makes it sometimes a little easier. Okay, from here, right, I'm covering myself. Swing across, right. So therefore, like roughly the guideline is that like I'm 90 degrees that way, I'm 90 degrees that way, roughly. Doesn't be exact. Okay, turn around. Yep, that's right. Turn around. Turn around. Okay. Now once you get a hang of it, just swing. Just swing. Now I'm actually using my hips to swing. I don't really care, it's a warm-up exercise, so I don't really care too much exactly where things are. But I'm actually like using my hips to swing. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so we can actually go over this again afterwards. All right. Now, again, the fighting application for this would be, for example, like if I borrow a roll blade, I would actually like from here, pump, 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 pump. Right, now you see how I've actually loaded up?
Yeah.
Right, I've actually stepped behind Sky, and this leg actually comes from the race. Yeah, thank you. So, hence we have that. Okay, and what you want to do after that, turn into that, whatever, it's up to you. Yeah, but that's the exercise. Okay. Comfortable?
Good stuff. Yeah. Fun.
Well,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
those.
Good
Okay.
stuff.
Now, do we have any questions before I go into the actual Shen Yi Qi part of the Qigong exercise? Nope.
We're
Not
good.
one sip of water.
Yeah.
Okay, now,
We've seen variations of these over the years. What I like is that not only are you showing us the warm up, but you're showing us what they can be used for. Like you said, nothing's wasted.
nothing is wasted.
It's not just a warm up.
Not just a problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. And also the thing is like, when you fight someone, again, you want to lose as well too. Because like, when you need to conserve energy when you fight.
Sure.
Right. Ideally, you may just only need to handle one person, which may last only 3 seconds. What if the buddies join in? Yeah, you need to last long enough until your buddy joins in. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what.
If you have buddies.
That was Stephanie.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the Shen Yi Qi exercise basically. Now there. Okay, this one is shown by me by Master Wei.
Sweet.
But sometimes there are like little variations, right? For example, I know Sister Silan does it slightly differently. But at the end of the day, you know what? It doesn't really matter. What matters is actually the concept behind it. If the hand position, if the sequence is ever so slightly different from other Imperial Yang practitioners, it doesn't really matter too much at all. Okay. Now, with the Qigong exercise, we focus on 3 things. One is the development of the Shen, right? Second is the cultivation of the Qi. And third is actually the using the Yis to manipulate the field around you, okay? And to use that to understand and feel how yin and yang exchanges, right? Especially when you're using the Yis to manipulate the space. Because like you can't move one thing without moving another, so you can't move a yang without moving a yin, you can't move a yin without moving a yang. So therefore, like everything, you need to understand the rules of how everything works. You need to feel it. Okay. Now, also the other thing is that like today, when we learn this exercise, we will repeat it a number of times, right? Don't strain yourself. Okay, because the first time you do it, everybody tends to want to, oh, I really want to push it, see what it feels like. I really want to push it, see if my Shen can actually pop in. Don't try that, because like you actually drain yourself. You actually like hurt yourself. Okay, so just let it be. Okay, in the beginning, before anything happens, you can do it a bit more often so that you can get a feel of it, right? But according to Master Wei, once you know what you're doing with these Qigong exercises, you should do no more than 3 sets a day, right? Because he says that like it's like eating, right? You want to eat, but you don't want to stop yourself. Okay, it's not healthy. So of course, in the beginning, because before you get the things going, you can do a few more times because like. You won't get much anyway. But once you actually get the concept going, get the energetics going, right? Do it sparingly. Yeah. Do it, but don't overdo it. Okay. Now the first exercise is actually to cultivate the Shen. Okay. Now the Shen is basically your spirit, your awareness, your mental amoeba that I call, and that's what you're trying to develop. Okay. It's got to do with heaven and earth, etc., etc. Okay, so the Shen part, I'll do it first. Okay, understand this right first. Okay, from the opening, from here, you just do the opening sequence a little bit. You don't have to worry too much, right? Bring your hand up. Okay, now, once I bring my hand to here, right? You want to fall asleep momentarily. Yeah. So you actually, because like you're clearing your mind and you're almost like you're not on the train, you doze off a little bit, right? You doze off a little bit, and then you wake up. Right? Now, as you wake up, you let heaven qi come into your crown, right? And you actually feel a disc spreading out this way. Okay, it's only about this big, right? And that's your head aura. Okay. Now, roughly, the disc spreads from around the back of your head, roughly around here. Don't force it. This is a dangerous point. If you force it, you can injure yourself. Just let it spread naturally. If it doesn't spread, don't worry. Don't force it. But just do it lightly, gently, and let nature be. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, don't be obsessed over it. Okay. Now, also this head aura that's spreading, okay, is forever talking with the universe. Okay. So I'm not forcing the disc out as such. I'm not spreading it like the ring that I talked about, right? But I'm actually sending out a disc this way. While this is going out, I also have things going in. Okay, I'm sure you've seen some paintings of religious icons, right, where they've actually drawn the head aura not as just a solid disc, but with patterns inside, right? A lot of these old guys, historic figures, right, they understood the concept of these things, because it's universal. It's not just Tai Chi, it's not just Western or Eastern or whatever, it's universal. They understand these concepts, right? And the way to express it in art is that they draw patterns. So you actually see the intricate things moving out and the universal energy intricately moving in and blending in. So that's what you're doing, okay? So in your mind, from here, I fall asleep. I wake up. Now watch my eyes too. My eyes full of spirits. Okay, now the head aura is expanding only to about there. Yeah, and when I say spirit, I mean tequila. So this comes out. Okay, what I'm doing now is that like I'm bringing the qi from the outside in. So it's almost like a mist that comes in, right? Now when this comes in, it actually goes through roughly my heart chakra, right? Roughly, it doesn't have to be exact, right? And it comes out roughly my Mingmen area, doesn't have to be exact, right? And then it spreads out this way, the back aura that I always talk about. I use that in fighting a lot because it's what supports me. Some people are naturally head aura persons. Most people are naturally back aura persons. I'm a back aura person. Okay. That. If you can do both head aura and back aura well, you're a superhero. Okay. And assuming that you do both well, right? This is a circle, right? A horizontal circle, right? That actually joins both the head aura and the back aura. And now we completed one round. Okay, that's one round. And generally we do it 3 times. Yeah, and that's the cultivating of the Shen part. Too easy?
Yes and no.
Okay. Now you would find that like the action itself is quite easy, right?
Right.
It's a concept behind it. It's a concept behind it, right? This falling asleep and waking up is actually a very important aspect in the fighting, because again, if Wolf is coming at me, right, you will notice that like right this part, I'm not really like doing much. Okay, I'm not fighting Wolf here, right? If Wolf comes in, I'm actually coming here, right? And now suddenly I would use my Shen to wake up, and it goes. And then afterwards, I get back to my semi-conscious state. Yeah. So sometimes you will see images of Buddha, right? His eyes is half closed, right? When I play with my teacher, he would engage me with his eyes half closed, and then suddenly I just go like ding, right? And then it's gone again, right? So basically, that's the moment of the Shen appearing, and it's gone. Yeah. And of course, like when you want to overwhelm someone with your spirit, like yesterday we tried, like I would approach you with eyes half closed, but when I need to turn it on, I stare at you. Yeah, that's how it goes. All right. Give it a try. Let's do that together. All right. Now, don't force anything. Otherwise, you will go crazy if you're not already crazy. I think most of you are. Okay. So find yourself a space. Okay. Right. Now we will go over more than one round. It doesn't really matter. But once you get a hang of it, only 3 rounds. Okay. But we'll go more than 1 round so you can get a hang of it. Okay. Right. So just open up whichever way. Doesn't really matter. Right. Hand comes up. Okay. In the 十字手. Okay. Now from here, you fall asleep momentarily, and you wake up. And now the universal energy comes into your crown. Wow. Okay. Now your head aura spreads. Right. Just let it be. Okay. This feels good. Now I'm ready to rock. Bring the hand out. Now this is almost like a hydraulic thing. While this is coming in, you're bringing the mist in. Your back aura is spreading out. Okay, some of you may actually feel things are spreading already. Okay, now you've got a head aura, you've got a back aura. You do the universe thing to join it. And now you've got one huge aura behind your back. If you can actually get both aura happening, you'll be a full master. Okay, now you fall asleep. Right now. Okay, wake up. Now things goes into your crown. The head aura happens. Okay. Bring your hands up. Bring the chi in. Now you would also find that when you do it in a group, it works better than when you do it individually. It's got to do with the collective approach, which is all waving the energy frequency at the same time. So therefore, it actually works better. So we've done the second round. Fall asleep. Wait for it, doesn't matter. Let the body wake up, don't force it to wake up. It will wake up. Wake up. Right, now the energy goes into your crown. The head aura opens. Bring this out. Bring the mist back in. The back aura expands and projects through your mingmen, which is between your kidneys. Okay, this feels really good. Okay, joined both the head aura and the back aura. And now we're done. Okay, and when we're done, forget about it. Yeah, don't dwell on it. Yeah, because like otherwise, again, if you walk around in this stage, you go nuts. Yeah, so therefore just dwell with it. Okay, very good. Very good.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. And now also, I mean, I'm standing here, I can see everyone is getting in the zone. Yeah, everyone's getting in the zone. I mean, it shouldn't happens. You don't get it. Yeah. We all get in the zone. Yeah. Now, we will go over this again and again because, like, I really wanted to map this into a pattern, and it's gotten that too. Yeah. Okay. Now, any questions before we do it? Yes.
Is there any precautions? Because I teach a lot of seniors, and I'm talking about not 60-year-olds, but 80 and 90-year-olds plus. Would something like this be okay for them?
It will be perfect for them.
Because I mean, sitting down.
Huh?
Sitting down.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do it sitting down. You can do it standing up. In fact, like some people would actually like do it in the lotus position.
Okay.
Okay. The only difference is that like when you are standing up, your connection to the earth is through the Yongchen, right? But when you're actually in the lotus position, your connection to the earth, it doesn't have to touch the earth, but your connection to the earth will be roughly around the Hui-Yin region.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what, in the lotus position.
In the lotus position.
Okay, but sitting down, it's still through the feet.
No, if you're sitting down, if
Yeah.
your feet is not touching,
Yes.
then probably just through the Hui-Yin.
Right.
If your feet is touching,
Right.
it's through the Yongchen. Okay. Now also, Master Wei mentioned before that you know how when we do the opening sequence, the energy goes down there and comes back up, right? Okay. He was saying that like once you're very very good at it, right, it just goes down to the Hui-Yin, and that's fine. You don't have to worry about the rest. Yeah. But the thing is, I think we have to worry about the rest. He didn't have to worry about the rest. Okay. So that would be the thing. Now, one precaution. Very, very important precaution, especially if this is a Shen part. The other parts, if you make mistakes, it's not as bad. The Shen part, if you make mistakes, right, it could really, really do some serious damage. Okay. So the number one rule of not making mistakes is don't force it. Be patient. Okay. Especially the head aura bit. Okay. If you force the head aura, I'm not responsible for the damage that can occur in your body, okay? But as long as you don't force it, I'd rather it not happen than for you to force it to happen. Yeah.
So should we not try to visualize the head?
No, you have to visualize it, right? But only very lightly.
Okay.
Yeah, only very. Don't go. Yeah, just like be aware of it.
That it could happen.
That it can happen.
Not that I plan on forcing it, but how do you fix it if you do goof?
Talk to Ray.
You look like Monica.
And you act like mine.
Touche.
I love you too.
Okay, so to fix it, it is possible, right? Again, you can fix it through doing this Qigong exercise again, but it will be a slow process over time. Okay, because what happens is that like jade pillow needs to be kept cool, right? That's why it's called a jade pillow, right? Anytime it heats up, you're in big trouble. So if you force it and it gets warm, you're in big trouble, right? So if you have got into trouble, over time, if you stop being obsessed over it, right? With Ray's help, with everyone's help, to remind you stop being obsessive, because when you're in that mode, it's very, very hard for you to get out, right? But listen to your friends, listen to Ray, listen to Wolf, right? Then over time, that will cool back down, and the damage, as long as it's not over a long period of time that you were going nuts, right? The damage is usually quite reversible. Yeah. But again, not being obsessive is a way to go, which is really
Why are
hard.
you looking at me?
I don't know, I just see that head aura happening.
Now, when you're doing this, is it the same amount of time we were doing it just now?
Yeah, it would be roughly at that speed, right? Roughly at that speed. And as I say, 3 rounds is enough. 3 rounds is enough. You don't want to overdo it.
A day.
Yeah.
3 rounds a day. 3 rounds a day. is
3
plenty.
rounds of we did
Of all
3
three,
times.
of all
3
three.
rounds of 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all you should do. No more. I'd rather you do less than do more. Yeah.
Yes.
Even if you do it just once, it's fine. If you're eating, as long as you eat right, you only need 1 meal a day, right? But don't eat too much. Yeah.
I mean, they've been warned, but it's good to hear it from you. And the biggest problem, and Jeff has a question, the biggest problem is normally youthful individuals who think they're more intense because they're young, and they think they're invincible because they're young. And I know because we were all like that once when we were young. So I especially want to my young students to say, less is more is
Less is
very,
more.
very, very important.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
Now,
Sorry.
also the thing is remember the yin yang sign on Ray's shirt. Okay, Can I borrow? Oh, I borrow lion. Yours is even better. Yeah. Okay. When you fight someone, right, you are not using this patch, and you're not using this patch. You're using the dots.
Yes.
Okay.
Good point.
So don't focus on the big. Focus on the middle. Right. You. Yes. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. And he's big. Yeah. And so you just need to have that little grain of rice. Yeah, you fight with that grain of rice. Yeah. Again, if I have to deal with wolf, if I have to fighting wolf, I am not going. That is around the size of the you can see. Yeah. Okay. I am not going to use a lot. I'm not going to win with a lot, right? I'm going to win with the little. Yeah. Because it's the little that wolf can't deal with. It's not the lot wolf can deal with. It's the little that wolf can't deal with. Yeah. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Cool. Yes, Jeff.
Colors, man.
Colors, man. Yeah.
When we're doing these visualizations, what color?
Mist.
Mist? Like a milky
Dark.
white?
Yeah. Not the Los Angeles mist. Not the smog.
The Beijing smog, yeah.
But the El Paso. Oh, hang on. I haven't
No,
seen
you
this
don't want to go
yet.
there. Go with the sea mist.
Sea mist.
Nice sea mist.
Nice sea mist. Okay, think of the nice sea mist. Okay. So roughly, it's not really, doesn't really have a color as such, but it's not transparent, and it's not. Get a water bottle and go. Pss, 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 pss. That's roughly that sort of color. Okay, that's what you see. That's this part, right? The disc. Don't worry too much about it, right? Let it be, whatever. It would tend to be kind of like a piece of quartz, right? Where it's transparent, but it's got grains of imperfection inside. So that would be about like that. So the aura would be roughly here. I would say if I had to put a color to it, quartz, right? But this bit that comes in definitely is mist, definitely mist. Okay.
No concerns about breath pattern or anything like that?
Let it be. Let it be. Okay. In our way of thinking, the breath is not so much important, the air, right? It's more important that like when you move your intention in and out, your breath happens automatically. Yeah, so let the breath be natural. It's a moving. Yeah, because I don't go just breathe normal. But you would find that like for instance from here, you would tend to breathe in and breathe out through the back. Breathe in, breathe out through the back. Yeah, because you're doing it so slow, you don't have to hold your breath into one. But let it be natural. Yeah, okay. Another eye thing, you should see Jen Shu, right? When she's just sitting there resting, her eyes like this, right? As soon as I walk into the room, yeah, Jansu the cat, yeah.
Oh.
So the thing is
Oh,
like,
Chansu, yeah. Margaret's cat.
yeah. So therefore, like keep that in mind too, because like animals has to do things, right? And when the cat don't think that you are a threat anymore and want to be friendly, they would actually start doing this again. Yeah. So the thing is, don't pet the cat when the cat is like this. Pet the cat when the cat is like this. Okay, next part. Yes. Oh, yes. Sorry. Yes.
What happens over time from doing this practice, and then also what's a good time to do it? Like get up in the morning and do it.
Get up in the morning would be the best. Yeah, first in the morning. Okay. Again, in theory only. If you find some nice straight trees, okay, don't meditate next to trees that's lots of like hanging roots and wonky. Yeah, nice straight trees. A great pine tree is nice. Okay, and do it in the morning if you can. You can think of that pine tree as a training partner if you want to. Ideally, morning when the plant is giving out oxygen, that's the best time, right? There's also a saying that like don't do it in the afternoon, don't do it when it's dark in front of a tree, because it actually drains your energy. Yeah, that's what the traditional. That's what it says. I don't know what it's got to do with the oxygen emitting. You know, when it's sun, it emits oxygen, and otherwise when it's at night, it emits carbon dioxide. I'm not too sure, but that's the same. That's the same. Okay?
If you-
Which makes sense as well. Anyway.
If you do it at night inside, is that
Oh, that's
also
fine.
bad?
Yeah, just stay away from the big
Big
plants.
trees.
Yeah.
We don't have them here anyway.
True, yeah.
There's that one in Central.
Yeah.
No,
Stay away.
another rule is that like supposedly you do it facing east. Supposedly, I do not fully understand the concept behind it, but I'm just repeating the information that I've been told. I don't think at the end of the day it makes a big difference. If you have a choice, right, just do it according to what the ancients tell you.
You met Master Yan. He taught us a qigong that he learned from Master Wei, where every 3 months we change direction.
Okay.
Or if you do it between 11 at night and 2 in the morning, you face a certain direction. But sometimes when you work with people and they're all in a big circle like this, you can't have everybody face the same way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, and they still get a benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, I only have limited information, right? I think research is important because like the thing is, every master tends to have a different set of rules. Yeah, and so I would say this is still an area that needs a bit of research. Yeah, and I'm just hoping that science, once science catches up to it, then we have a good method of studying it. Yeah. Good. Okay. Second, any other questions?
We're good.
Oh, good. Okay. That one is to cover the second part. Okay. This one, I think when we finish with this exercise, we have a little break before we do the next part. This one is to cultivate the qi. Okay. And that's a specific reference to color. Yeah, you may. Yeah. Anyway. So from here, again, supposedly we finish this part. Okay. Oh, it's all done. Okay, now don't think about it anymore. When this comes down, right, now pay attention to the Yin Qiang Mai. I always like to pay attention to the Yin Qiang Mai. Okay? Right, you actually like let everything down, right, and you empty everything out. Okay? Now this part goes underneath the ground a little bit. Okay? As it comes down, it goes underneath the ground, it comes back out of the ground, and it actually floats, the energy floats the hands up. Now you would find that like if you lift up your hands with your muscles, you can go all the way. If you lift up your hands with the qi, right, for some reason, by the time it's here, oh, then it's stuck, it can't go up, it just won't go up anymore. I don't know why, but it just won't go up anymore. Okay, so once it's here, right, you have to make a little stop and let the rain comes onto your hand, like, ooh, rains onto the hand. And now you can keep going, right? And by the time I'm here, right, you start seeing a ball, the color of the rising sun. That was actually exactly what Master Wei told me. The color of the rising sun, roughly around here. Not directly above your head, not in front of you, but roughly around here. Okay. So what you want to do is that once you see the ball, well, actually with your peripheral vision, don't look at it with peripheral vision, right? The ball comes straight down. It doesn't go past any acupuncture channels at all. It goes straight down into your dantian. Boom. Right? So from here, boom, it goes into your dantian. And now, you let it dissolve. That's one round. And just let it dissolve. Let it dissolve. Let it dissolve. Right. Shall we do it together?
I like this.
This is cultivate qi. Yeah. Okay, now we are supposed to be continuing on from the last bit, okay, which is from here, okay. 雙手落是身放鬆. When the two hands goes down, the body relaxes, and you just let it be. Right? Don't hold on to anything that you were doing before. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, now, when this goes down, the energy actually goes down into the ground, right? A few inches, and then it comes back up, outside you. Now, this energy floats your arm up, so you're not really lifting your arm up. Yeah, but just float your arms up. Okay. Now, you notice that I'm doing that like sleepy cat eye again. Once the hand goes up to here, it rains. onto your hand, and now you can keep going. And now there's the sun. The size a little bit bigger than a tennis ball. Right. Whoa, it goes down into your dantian. Right. And as this comes down, you let it dissolve into every part of your body. So you're not really holding the qi in your dantian. You let every part of you benefit from that. That's one round. Floating up. Rain. Up. Goes in, the sun appears, or goes into the dantian. Just breathe normal. Second round, oh, everything dissipated to every part of the body. Some of you, when you're doing this, you may find all the hair on your body standing up.
Yes.
Yeah. Second part. It's the monkey magic thing. Third round. The ball. Into the dantian. That's the third round. Okay. That's fine. Okay. We'll go up to here. Now, I want to explain a little bit on that circuit. Can I borrow a line? Yeah? Okay. So, probably put your hand out just roughly around there like that. Yeah. Okay. Now, the circuit that you're establishing is like when this goes down, okay, it comes down roughly, remember, it's just roughly, okay, around the, along the Yin Chang Mai, right? It goes to the ground, right? I'll just only do one side, okay? It goes under the ground, it comes back up, and that's what it floats your hands up. So you're not lifting your hand up accordingly. Okay, from here you stop, rain comes down, and then it keeps going. Sun is here already. Oh, sorry, too far, too high. Sun is here already. And then you are aware of it peripherally, right? And it is actually the color of the morning sun, morning rising sun. It goes, home. Yeah, and it spreads. And that's actually the circuit. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So that's the qi part. Okay. And we'll do the yi part after this. We'll have a little bit. Yeah. Sounds good. Okay. But when you overdo the yi, right, you actually go crazy. You start imagining things that's not there, right? You start seeing horns growing out of people.
No, those are real, man.
And also the thing is like you don't want too much qi either. Yeah. Remember, like again, like if I'm to throw someone, I want to use just enough. I want to use just right. I want to take just enough. Too much qi tends to make you stagnate and slow you down. Right. So the thing is like you don't want too much qi either. So when we do the 3 sets together, we get a little bit of everything, and that's all we need. Okay. So instead of separating them, do it together. Okay. Now the next bit, the qi part. Okay. I'll show you first. Also not the qi part, sorry, the yi part. Okay. Okay. Now so from here, I was almost going to do a Wing Chun, open up the button. Yeah. So just from here. Okay. So we've done. That part already, done the sun part, right? Okay. Now don't worry too much about how the rings are formed, right? Because by the time you get to the qigong practice, you should be masters of forming rings already. Okay. So the thing is, the rings are already there. So this is a simple part. So from here, be aware of the space behind you, around you. Bring your hand up to the shoulder ring. Okay. Now, what happens? So, like, feel this. When the back part of the ring, basically this is a ring. You got a 2 circle. Remember, I was doing the W thing yesterday, right? So when the back part opens, right, the front part condenses. Yeah, that's the nature of it. Like, so with your yi, you need to understand the yin yang nature, right? When the back opens, the back part of the ring opens, the front condenses, right? Right. Now again, it's a Yi that leads the hands, not the hands moving the Qi. Okay. And now, by now, whatever's condensed there has come back in. So that brings your hands in. Okay. And now my back opens and the front condenses. And now that front comes back in and my hand follows. Third round. Okay. From here, you come down to your hip ring, which is again 1.2 meters roughly. Right, now this opens, that closes, kind of. Come back in. This open, that closes. 3 rings, 3 times. And then the waist ring, a bit smaller, a few inches smaller. 1, 2, and 3. And now, this one I added myself, yeah, and it's not in the original one that Wei Shu-Ren taught me. Bring the pendulum back up to your chest. Right, you remember like there's a pendulum somewhere here? Bring it back to your chest. And that's it. Then you close. Now, again, don't dwell on it. Once you finish practicing it, that's it. Don't worry too much about it. Okay. That's all there is to it. Okay. Now, yeah, please. Yeah.
Sounds like I'm going from different teachers, but I know Ray and I talked about it at some point. Male, you have the left hand on top, or female, does it matter, or is it really not?
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'm equal opportunity. So, at the end of the day, yeah, feel free to actually explore it, right? For me, because you know what, at the end of the day, the body is not important. Yeah, the body is not important. It's actually the Qi that moves around you that's important. So the thing is like, whether it's here or it's here, you know, I wasn't joking, the 7 stars. Some people actually would meditate with 7 stars like this. Like, and then the guy has to be this way, and then the girl has to be, I don't know. Yeah. So at the end of the day, what's important is actually the Yi Qi. The body is just a piece of floating wood on energy. Yeah. So the thing is like, it's not, you don't move the body. Yeah. The energy moves the body. Yeah. That's what's important. Yeah. So we're going to any other questions? No? Okay. Now another concept that's very, very important is that the energy thing is like an abnormal. Okay. Which means that like once you get the hang of it, right, this ring structures becomes natural. Okay. Which means that if I am to fight you, very rarely would I be doing this where there is no opening and closing. Most probably I'll be doing this. Right? And this. And this. And this. Now from Wolf's point of view, he would actually feel that like as my back opens, your back closes. Right? And as that comes back, it goes the other way. Yeah. So that's the nature of it. Yeah. Why I don't want open and open? If I just went open and open, push it a little hard here. If I want open and open, I fall over, right? If I want close and close, I fall over, right? Open and close. That's when I can actually do things. Yeah. You'll also notice that like purely I don't care about anything anymore, right? So the thing is like when move actually like when I open and close, I don't know, Wolf gets himself into this structure. Yeah. Wolf gets himself into that structure because he gets himself. I didn't do anything to you, Wolf. No. You drove it yourself. Yeah. So basically, that's what I mean by like you let the energy move yourself. Yeah. I don't dominate and say I want energy this way. Whatever the energy is presented, you just flow with it. Yeah. Okay. Let's do it together. Okay. So once we finish this bit, then we'll go over from beginning to end, right? Okay, so we were up to here. Okay, if you have to ask about colors, Qi rings. Qi rings, they roughly, again, have the color of mist. It's kind of like a white, hazy thing. Yeah, it's not really a solid, yeah, it's not a solid thing. Okay, from here, bring your hand up. Now we do the shoulder ring first. Now the back opens and the front closes. Oh, it's come back in. I don't worry about it anymore. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Second one, hip ring. 1, 2, 3. Waist ring, a bit smaller. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now you may find yourself when you're doing this swaying. You may find yourself swaying. As long as it's not excessive, let it be. Yeah. Because like when you're swaying, actually the body is reacting to the magnetic forces of your intention. So just let it be. Don't fight it. Yeah. Just don't fall over. That's all. Okay. Too easy. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll do from beginning to end together. Right.
Did we do the pendulum?
Sorry?
Did we do the pendulum?
Oh yeah. Of the finishing. Yeah. I'll
Oh, okay.
that's the finishing. I'll do the finishing.
Here.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do this together.
I can hear the energy.
Emanating from my back. Yeah. Okay, so from here we open. How you open, I'll let you decide. Okay. Don't worry too much, just be relaxed. Bring your hand back up. And fall asleep a little. Wake up. Now the head aura is happening. Okay. Go in, bring the mist through the front, out the back of the at the ligament, which forms this nice plane on the back aura. Booty pain. Right? Join the two. Now I'm complete. Doesn't matter. Fall asleep. Wake up. Yeah, sometimes when you wake up, you can't help but having a smile. I don't know why, but it happens. Bring the chi in, the mist in, and form the back aura. Join the two. Fall asleep the third time. Wake up. Head aura. Back aura is formed. Join the two. Okay, done the first round. Relax now. Now the chi rises, like kind of like floats around up. And once you can see, I can't go any further. Rain on my hands. Yeah. Up, sun. Go straight into Madante. I know you like the sound effects. Now let it dissolve. So it's in every part of you. So you've done after one sun. Now it keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. And it keeps floating your arm up, floating your arm up, floating your arm up. Until you can't go anymore. Rain on the hands. The orangey sun. Boom. Goes right into your dantian. This is everything. Goes right into your dantian. Dissolve. Goes in every part of you. And if you feel all the hair on your body stands up, that's good. If it doesn't happen, don't worry about it. Goes up. Rain on the hands. So done the third sun right there. We're doing the third sun. Dissolve it everywhere. So the whole body has got qi flowing through it. The 氣遍身軀不消滯, which means that the qi flows and covers all around the body without any stagnation. Yeah, that's the key. 氣遍身軀不消滯. So we've done the three suns. Now we bring the hand up. We do the shoulder ring. The three rings. The three times. Back opens, the front of you closes. Like a pair of scissors. One. Two. And three. Goes down to your hips. Right. Now what you want to do is that ultimately, I'll just do one little variation. Because it's actually the ring that moves, not your hands. Okay? So therefore, like, you can quite easily just move this much of the hand. One. I've done the circle of my hands. Two. Three. That's the E part. Okay, I'll go back to the normal one. Come back up to the belly button ring, waist ring. One. How much you move your hands doesn't matter. It's your E that's important. Two. Three. Okay. Now just let it go. Bring the pendulum back up. Yep, so the pendulum goes back up to my chest. And we're done. And when we're done, don't think about it anymore. Okay. Awesome, everyone is in the zone. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah. So when you another interesting thing about finish doing this QiGong exercise that may happen, is that like you would find it hard to pick up things. Yeah, like things easy, but when you have to pick up something heavy, you say, I don't want to use my muscle. you actually, when you first finish doing it, you find it hard to pick up heavy objects, right? And then you have to go, okay, step out of it, step out of it. Yeah, no anymore. Then you can get back to normal. It's the effect because like by the time you're done, you've actually completely taken the body out of the equation, right? With these QiGong exercises, and everything is based on Yi and Qi. Okay, Shen Yi Qi, I should say. And obviously, you can't pick up a bottle with your Shen and Yi and Qi unless you're a Jedi. So therefore, like, yeah, once you finish, you just snap out of it, let it be, and go on with what you do. Yeah, very good. Yay! So we've done all the.